Welcome, dear reader. The story takes place in Los Angeles, California, during the week of a major international music festival. Amidst the frenzy of fans, backstage chaos, and flashing lights, an unexpected and forbidden connection is born between an ordinary fan and one of the biggest music stars in the world. Olivia James, 25, is a young freelance photographer with wavy red hair, fair skin, and intense green eyes. Romantic, dreamy, yet determined, she has always been passionate about music, especially the songs of Shawn Mendes. Her dream was to see him live. But she never imagined that with a single look, her life would change forever. Shawn Mendes, 26, is a global star with a sensitive heart. With straight brown hair, a hypnotizing smile, and an athletic body sculpted through workouts and yoga, he's the man who makes crowds swoon on stage and hides a quiet loneliness behind the curtain. He loves art, but hates fame, and that night, he was searching for something real. What begins as an accidental backstage meeting turns into a forbidden night, filled with tension, desire, and dangerous emotions. When a fan becomes more than just a face in the crowd, even the stars seem to lose their way. Olivia was in the crowd, her camera hanging around her neck. She had limited access as a freelancer for a music blog, but all she really wanted was to see Shawn up close. When he stepped onto the stage, lights exploded and the world disappeared. There was only him. And he saw her. After the show, as security pushed back the fans, Olivia wandered off, trying to capture images of the now empty stage. That's when she heard a low voice behind her. "You like staying after the lights go out?" She turned slowly. It was him. Sweaty, his black shirt clinging to his body, a curious smile on his face. "That's when the real show begins," she answered, trying to catch her breath. He smiled and took a step closer. "I'm Shawn." "I know," she whispered. She followed him into a quiet lounge, lit only by soft lights. Shawn tossed his towel aside, grabbed 2 bottles of water, and offered her one. Olivia accepted with trembling hands. He sat on the couch, relaxed, but his eyes never left her. "You seem different from the others." "Maybe because I'm not trying to impress you." He laughed, surprised by the response. "That's refreshing." Silence. "Can you photograph me?" he asked suddenly. She raised her camera, and he stared straight into the lens, intense. But when she lowered the camera, he was still staring. "You know what else I want right now?" he said, walking slowly toward her. "Something no one else can see. Something real." The touch was gentle. He took her hand and placed it on his chest. "Feel that? That's for you." She kissed him. They went into an empty dressing room and locked the door. She sat on the glowing countertop as he slowly pulled off his shirt, his toned muscles catching the soft light. Olivia slid her hands from his abs to his shoulders. Shawn pulled her in hard, their bodies sticking together, hot, sweaty, hungry. The kiss deepened. She gasped when he bit her lower lip. He unbuttoned her blouse, sliding his fingers along the bare skin of her back. Every move was urgent, desperate, as if it was the only night they'd ever have. She wrapped her legs around his waist. He lifted her with ease, laid her on the couch, and they surrendered completely, as if the world outside had stopped existing. That night, he wasn't a pop idol. And she wasn't just a fan. They were just two bodies, two souls, caught in a moment no one would ever understand. The next morning, he was lying next to her, his bare chest rising and falling slowly. She traced soft circles on his skin with her finger. That was forbidden, he finished for her. Yes. And perfect. He took her hand gently. No one can know about this. They'd destroy you. And I'd lose everything. She nodded, but her emotions were already spiraling out of control. Later, when she left the hotel discreetly through the back, paparazzi were waiting near the front entrance. She pulled her hood up and walked straight ahead. But it was too late. That night, Twitter exploded with rumors. Shawn called her in a panic. They know. I need to protect you. You don't have to, just say you don't know me. Silence. I can't do that. Because I do know you. And I'll never forget. They met again in a silent hotel room, days after the scandal started to spiral. Olivia entered through a back entrance, hood up, guided by one of Shawn's most trusted assistants. As soon as the door shut behind her, he pulled her close like he was afraid she'd vanish. I thought you weren't coming, he whispered, voice cracking. I almost didn't, she confessed, resting her forehead against his chest. But I can't stay away. He kissed her like it was the last time. Their bodies met again, but this time there was no rush. Every touch was a desperate attempt to memorize each other's skin. He undressed her slowly, almost reverently. His fingers explored every curve, his lips traveled every inch of her body. Lying beneath the sheets, they stared at each other in silence for a few long seconds. You know this won't last, right? She asked, tears welling in her eyes. Don't say that. Shawn, you're the most wanted man in the world. And I'm just me. No one's going to understand. He cupped her face in both hands. But I understand. And I don't care about the rest. She smiled through the pain. Your team wants you to disappear for a while. They canceled interviews. They're erasing traces. Screw the team, he snapped. They weren't with me that night. They don't know what it's like to look at you and finally feel like myself. Olivia placed her hand on his chest, feeling the wild beat of his heart. I'm scared, Shawn. Of losing you. Of losing myself. Then let's get lost together. Night fell, and they made love again, with soul, with pain, with hope. As if the world outside couldn't touch them anymore. But by morning, they both knew reality was waiting on the other side of that door. Their time in the dark was running out. The hotel door closed behind Olivia, and the quiet street outside contrasted with the storm brewing inside her. Her body still carried Shawn's warmth, but her mind was a tornado of fear and doubt. That morning, she had said goodbye without knowing if there would ever be an after. She went home and turned off her phone. Outside, the scandal was on fire. Anonymous photos. Gossip blogs running wild. Lies. Half-truths tangled with venomous whispers. Van sneaks into Shawn Mendes' hotel room, they claimed. He's obsessed with her, said others. But no one knew about that first glance. The connection impossible to fake. The silent nights where no words were needed. Olivia cried quietly on her bedroom floor. But he came. No bodyguards. No cameras. He knocked on the door. She opened it, red eyes, broken heart. "What are you doing here?" she asked, barely holding back tears. "Refusing to lose you," he answered. She looked into his eyes, still unsure if this was real. "You should be hiding, protecting your image." "My image never made my heart beat like this." He stepped inside, took her face in his hands, and kissed her with hunger, with pain, with love. This time, there was no hesitation. He laid her down on the couch, undressed her tenderly, and made her feel everything she had forgotten she deserved. They gave themselves to each other like they were saying goodbye. But in truth, they were saying yes. Yes to the feeling. Yes to the scandal. Yes to love, even if the whole world screamed no. When it was over, she lay curled up on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. "Do you still think this is a mistake?" he whispered. She paused. "No. I think it's the realest thing I've ever felt." Outside, camera flashes lit up the window. The press had found them. But this time, she didn't run. He held her tighter. "They can write whatever they want," he said. "But this story, we write it ourselves." And that's how it ended. She, the fan. He, the star. And a love that defied everything, yet still burned brighter than any stage light.